I've never been more ready for anything in my life. This Friday night under the lights in Franklin is going to be a great way to start off the season.
It's an unmatched energy. You just feel it in every inch of your body. You just are ready to play.
A big game tonight. We'll show who we are. Show who we are. Hammer on three. 1, 2, 3. Hammer!
After months of off-season preparation, Stoughton traveled to Franklin for the opening game on September 9th. It's finally time for Friday Night Lights, and the Black Knights are ready for their first test of 2016. Stoughton scored on the opening possession of the game. Ryan Sullivan's 23-yard run got Stoughton near the goal line, and the senior captain finished the drive off with a 2-yard touchdown run with 7 minutes and 59 seconds left in the first. Less than 2 minutes later, Marcellus Cox returned a Franklin fumble 45 yards for another score. Quarterback David Salucci's 2-point conversion made it 14-0.
The defense looked good early. We had a fumble recovery for the house and a couple stops early, so that's good for the defense. Offense was just pounding the ball right down the middle every play.
Stoughton's third touchdown came on an 8-yard run from Iverson Swain Price, putting the Black Knights up 21-0 with 1 minute and 48 seconds left in the first. The key play on the scoring drive was Salucci's pass to Jack Conley on 3rd and 20 to move the chains. Stoughton's fourth touchdown was set up by another Franklin turnover, with Sullivan intercepting a pass on defense. Two plays later, Justin Lee scored from 10 yards out to make it 27-0 with 20 seconds left in the first. And the Black Knights kept piling on, rushing for more than 450 yards and scoring 5 more times, coming away with a 58-19 win to start the season 1-0. Sullivan led the way for Stoughton running the ball, totaling 153 yards on 10 carries, scoring 4 of Stoughton's 9 touchdowns. His performance earned him Player of the Week honors from HockomockSports.com.
4 touchdowns is nice, but 58 points is better. The holes you could drive a truck through, unreal. All senior line, stepped up big time, a lot of experience last year, and they're ready to go this year.
Fellow senior captain Iverson Swain Price added 2 rushing touchdowns. Entering the season, Sullivan and Swain Price figured to be top playmakers for Stoughton, and they lived up to that billing against Franklin. Joining them in the backfield was Lee, a junior fullback, who ran for 137 yards on 11 carries, and also contributed at linebacker on defense, in what was his first extensive playing time at the varsity level.
Justin Lee had a great game today, great first game. He'll just keep piling on, domino effect right now. He's doing great. He's been working hard all off season. Big season out of him, I expect.
Any back could have done it, but my first touchdown on varsity as a junior, it felt great in the moment.
I like to call it the 3-headed monster. Like Justin up the middle, me and Iverson on the outside. I don't know how other teams are going to stop it. I really like us going forward.
Like Sullivan, Lee is quick to give credit to the guys blocking in front of him.
Offensive line is amazing this year. Full senior line, they're so strong. I didn't even have to break any tackles. You just run right through that hole,
Senior lines usually win. Yeah. I hate to say it. That's high school. They're just a little stronger. They get a little more experience. And now we got the seniors. So, I'm hoping it carries us. The line is key.
With the lopsided win, Stoughton now turns its attention to a Week 2 matchup with perennial powerhouse Marshfield.
We got 1 down and 6 to go, and next week, every game, every week will probably be tougher.
One, two, three,
Black Knights and senior captain Andrew Iverson are riding high after their big season opening victory against Franklin. But it was a long road that led to Iverson being in the spot he is today. Iverson got a taste of varsity football his sophomore year, and come his junior year was expected to compete for starting positions on both sides of the ball. But he let poor grades get in the way of accomplishing that feat. Iverson failed his geometry and SAT review courses, making him academically ineligible for football term one of his junior year.
Well, sophomore year, it brought me to a field of struggles, lack of effort, and not really any like spirit in myself to try in school. I thought I just had it made, just playing football, and just not focusing on school, just not getting the homework done, you know, bombing tests. On the field, I'm one of the most competitive guys you ever meet. In the classroom, it's just like, I know I'm smart enough to do it, to compete with the other classmates, but I just felt like just kind of get by with like a C or a D was kind of my mentality sophomore year. Getting the news from a call from Coach Burke. I was in the weight room one day during the summer workouts. Coach Burke wasn't there, and gave me a call saying that you got to go see Miss Miller right now, like immediately, to talk about my grades, because right now you're academically ineligible to play football junior year. There was a question, like, do I even want to do this anymore? Do I want to play this sport anymore? Do I want to even try anymore? Because I couldn't even tell you like what was going through in my head during that junior year. It's tough, and just the mental breakdown on myself, like every single day, like trying to succeed. I've been playing football since I was 7 years old, and 1 year I didn't play, it was junior year. So it's just like, why? That's the main question I asked myself, why? Going to practice every day, like I was like, why am I here? I mean nothing to this team. In my thoughts, like I'm not going to do anything Friday nights for this team. I'm just helping them out now, I guess. That's the way I looked at it.
But Iverson continued to stick with it and support his teammates, attending practice every day despite not being able to suit up Friday nights.
Great senior group of Guy Eddy, Donnie Foley, Devlin Carroll, Jake Gibb. They wanted to win, so I thought to myself, like, I got to help these guys out, being kind of like a junior leader for the team, you know, and making sure everybody is in check, getting ready for the games on Friday nights.
Iverson knew the only way to get back on the field with his brothers was to also get serious in the classroom and improve his grades. If he was able to do that, he would be able to suit up for the annual Thanksgiving game, which comes after Term 1 report cards have been released.
Getting all my homework done, passing tests and quizzes, going after school for extra help to make sure I pass Term 1, just work for Thanksgiving so you can get at least one game under your belt for that junior year. Yeah, the first half of Term 1, I got like progress reports. That's what every kid gets. And I had honor roll, you know, and I was like, wow, I can actually do this. I can pass, I can succeed. If I just put some effort in and do some homework, I can succeed. I'm like, it was a great feeling at that moment. Just confidence boosted, you know, start to just show some smiles out of me.
Last Thanksgiving, Iverson finally got that chance to play during his junior year.
I'm finally here, and this is just the best feeling in the world. This is awesome. I'm finally on the field with my brothers, the guys I've been playing with since I was 7 years old.
Iverson got back on the field that day, but he knew that if he was going to play his senior year, he would have to keep his grades up, and he did.
This term I got on a roll so far, so I don't want to see any C's, any D's. I take full responsibility of what happened last year. My basic goal is like, don't ever, like, why would I ever want to do that again? Being here now, it's like, wow. It's just, you gotta say wow. It's like being a captain now, having the coaches trust, the teammates trust in me, and like, still thinking of me as a leader because even though last year's situation was just awesome, me being the leader of this team, it's great.
You know, I think it was important for him to know that we believed in him and that we think that he's capable of great things. And Mr. Iverson in particular is you know, he's a natural leader. It's just something that he loves, and you can tell it by meeting him in 2 minutes by the way he carries himself and the way that the other kids really respond to his leadership. And that's a rare quality that not everybody has, you know, and Andrew has it.
It just shows a ton about his character and the type of kid he is. He did not miss one practice, he did not miss one game. Every Saturday morning practice he was there, giving up his weekends. And I think that's, I mean, as much as it stinks he couldn't play last year, that's what a captain is. I think that he was one of the most deserving captains because although he may have messed up by not being able to play, he was there every single day, which shows his dedication and passion for the game.
It's huge to have him back because we have a hole to fill. We had holes to fill at linebacker, losing the Donnie, Guy, and Dev from last year. he's coming and he's definitely the leader amongst the linebackers this year. So him filling that hole is definitely huge.
Understanding that without the academic side of things that he just wouldn't have that opportunity, it resonated because he had to live it, you know, but to be able to really work and get those grades up to where they need to be and above where they need to be in order to enjoy his senior year, it's a special case. He did a great job. Very proud of him.
Taking from this experience that I've had, please everybody just do your work, get things done in this classroom first, and then get things done on the field next. Student athlete, that comes first.
Well, the team's here tonight. It's the team dinner, first team dinner of the year against Marshfield tomorrow. Usually it's a tradition. Every senior usually takes a night before the game. Tough week of practice. Now we're all together just having fun, getting ready, mentally prepared for tomorrow.
Come on.
Even though Stoughton players are pleased with the 58-point output at Franklin in Week 1, they know they face a tougher test against Marshfield. The Rams have gone 23-2 over the past 2 seasons, including winning a state title in 2014. Last season they played host to Stoughton, winning easily 31-6. So the Black Knights are looking at this rematch at Sarno Field as an opportunity for revenge.
And the captains are now coming out to midfield for the coin toss.
Absolutely gorgeous evening. Couldn't ask for much better on a late September day. Anxious to see some good football.
Stoughton wasn't the only team scoring plenty of points in Week 1. Marshfield put up 47 points in its opener, but despite these two high-powered offenses going head-to-head, it was the defense and hard hitting that set the tone in the early going.
And the first play from scrimmage, up the middle. This will be a straight handoff. Oh, a huge hit. Really good coverage.
The offense finally broke out midway through the first quarter.
Over the middle, caught by Sullivan. To the 30, to the 20. Brought down inside the 5.
Well, we had mentioned earlier that Sullivan can bring a lot on the running game. Succeed in the passing game as well.
From just 1 yard out, Justin Lee finished off the drive, powering his way into the end zone, giving the Black Knights the early 7-0 lead. The score remained the same until a 62-yard run from Marshfield tied things up, 3 minutes into the second quarter. Marshfield started to take control of the game on its next offensive possession, methodically moving downfield. Just when it looked like Stoughton's defense had it figured out, forcing a 3rd and long at the 35-yard line, Marshfield broke free with another big run, going up 13-7 with 4 minutes to go in the half.
That is a touchdown for Marshfield.
For the remainder of the first half and for much of the third quarter, the teams went back and forth trading turnovers. The score remained the same as neither could take advantage of the miscues.
Stoughton recovers. Deep over the middle on the seam pass, it is picked off. It's Finney on 3rd down and long. Throwing along the sideline, picked off. It is picked off.
Then, near the end of the third quarter, Stoughton was victimized by yet another long scoring play. This time, a 32-yard run put Marshfield up 14. After getting the ball right back, Marshfield had the Black Knights reeling deep in Stoughton territory. The fourth quarter started with a 4th and 2 play from the Stoughton 7-yard line. The Black Knights stuffed the Rams, forcing a turnover on downs, keeping their comeback hopes alive. Then Stoughton's offense finally started to find its rhythm.
Salucci along the near sideline, beautiful play to Connolly.
They strung together a series of big gains, advancing to the Marshfield 22-yard line. But then those comeback hopes took a hit. Stoughton's defense responded, forcing a 3 and out on the next drive. The offense got the ball back with 6 minutes left in the game. The drive got off to yet another promising start, with the Black Knights using their talent and also their will to stay alive in the game. But the drive stalled again. setting up a 4th and long situation. The clock was working against Stoughton, so the Black Knights needed to convert.
Deep pass over the middle, toss play Price. Oh, and he runs over people to go inside the 20. First down, Stoughton. Tough running by Swain Price.
3 plays later, Salucci finished the drive off with a 4-yard touchdown run, cutting the deficit to 21-13 with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game. Stoughton needed the ball back and had their chance with 2 minutes left in the game. It was 4th and 1, and a stop would give Stoughton's offense the opportunity to tie the game, but a Marshfield conversion would seal the deal for the Rams. Marshfield converted and was able to run out the clock, handing Stoughton its first loss of the season. Next week, the Black Knights will try to rebound at North Attleboro for the first of 3 straight games on the road.
Last week was very disappointing. You can't time travel yet, but if you would, we wanted to play that game again. But there's nothing you can do, so we're just on to week 3, and we got a big week this week.
Losing that game, I think it really lit a fire under us. You know, we had a very hard week of practice, and going in tomorrow for our walkthrough, I think we'll finish it up really nicely, get ready for Friday.
It's always hard to come off a loss, but Coach really wants this win for us because he knows it's for the Hawk title this week, so it's a really big week for us.
This game is huge. You know, we lost to them last year. We lost by a touchdown, so this year is definitely huge. I'm not saying that all the other games don't matter, but this one pretty much determines who wins the league. They won the Kelly Rex last year, we won the Davenport.
But this year, Stoughton and North Attleboro are competing in the same division.
You know, we were in a unique situation when it came to playing against North Attleboro because even though they were outside of our division, we felt like it was a good matchup for us every year, so we continued to play them in football in our non-league matchup. So it wasn't really like a shock to us this year that we had to play them where it may have been for some of the other teams.
Since the Hockomock League expanded to 12 schools, the conference has been split into 2 divisions based on enrollment size. The Kelly Rex for large schools and the Davenport for small schools. The divisions were realigned for the 2016-2017 school year, with Oliver Ames moving up to the large school division and North Attleboro joining the small school division, putting North and Stoughton on a collision course for Davenport division supremacy.
And I think now that they're in the Davenport, it just makes the whole league a lot more competitive. You know, some of the teams in the Davenport didn't play them last year, and I think them being in it really adds another level of competition in the Davenport. You know, a new team to look at, and just, you know, getting another side of like another half of the league into it, it's great competition.
I always like playing North. They're one of our rivals now. Like OA's kind of dropped off, so it's obviously sad not playing OA this year, but North's definitely a good one to have on the schedule.
This is the start of division play for the Black Knights. The final 5 regular season games all come against Davenport schools: Canton, Foxborough, Milford, and Sharon. But first up for Stoughton is perhaps the toughest of the bunch, North Attleboro. This Week 3 matchup was billed as the game of the week in the Hockomock League, but it quickly became a one-sided affair with North jumping out to a 21-0 lead in the first half. This was the second straight game Stoughton's rushing attack was shut down, unable to replicate the success from the Franklin game. This was also the second straight game that big plays were responsible for the Black Knights falling behind by multiple scores. But it wasn't all bad for the defense. Number 53, Ryan Pierre, was a bright spot, coming up with a number of big plays on the defensive line before sustaining an injury. Still needing a spark, down 21 points with 1 minute 53 seconds left in the first half, Stoughton inserted sophomore Evan Gibb at quarterback. The move paid off, as Gibb led Stoughton on a 5-play scoring drive in just 1 minute and 20 seconds, getting the Black Knights on the board with a 35-yard pass to Swain Price. Gibbs stayed in at quarterback for the second half and led the Black Knights to another score. His 42-yard run got Stoughton in scoring range, and later in the drive he bounced off tacklers for a 13-yard touchdown to cut the deficit to just 21-12 with 2 minutes left in the third. Stoughton ended the quarter on a high note, with Jack Connolly coming up with a sack to set up a 3rd and 12. Once trailing 21-0, Stoughton got set to start the 4th quarter down by only 9 points, and with the chance to force a North Attleboro punt. But the Red Rocketeers responded with a 35-yard pass to put them deep in the red zone. That set up a 4-yard touchdown run on the next play, putting North Attleboro up 27-12. The Black Knights showed that they were a resilient bunch on the next drive. They fired right back when Gibb connected with Swain Price for 54 yards. Facing a 4th and 2 later in the drive from the North Attleboro 7, Stoughton went for it, and the Gibb to Swain Price combination worked again, this time for another touchdown, bringing the Black Knights within 8 points. But that's as close as Stoughton could get, as North Attleboro added an insurance touchdown late in the game to come away with a 34-19 win.
We didn't get it done defensively. That's obviously a problem. And when you're down 3 touchdowns right off the bat, that's not good. I'm glad we battled back. We came back strong, played well in the second half, but that isn't good enough. You got to play a full game. We'll see what happens. We have a long way to go, and I think we'll be okay.
Considering the build-up going into this game, this was a tough defeat. The Black Knights certainly didn't expect to start the season 1-2, but there's still time to turn it around.
Even though we all know like we lost to good teams, it doesn't necessarily make us a bad team being 1-2. But we're definitely looking at ourselves, and which is kind of a reality check because we all had such high hopes for the season, and now we know we're not immortal. We can definitely drop a game or two. So we have to go into every game knowing that we have that chance at losing. We have to make sure we go into every game with the right mentality.
Stoughton players have identified the mistakes they've made in the last 2 games and know where they need to improve.
The North game, I don't really know what we did all that much that was really right. I mean, we stayed in it, and we didn't really count ourselves out at any point. But going down 21-0, it's kind of inexcusable on our defense and a little bit on our DBs too. Our DB, being one of our DBs, we kind of slacked a little bit, and we let off way more yards than we should have.
We needed a little more of a pass rush up front. Get to the quarterback, give him a little less time. I think he had a lot of time last week. That would help with giving our DBs some help with the coverage.
Most important thing is the O-line, and we know we haven't had our best games the past 2 weeks. We've been playing tough teams, but that's not an excuse because we worked too hard over the summer to say we're not strong enough, we're not fast enough. But it's not acceptable for our backs to only have 20 yards of rushing, especially when we have 2 of the best backs in the league in Izon and Sully.
I think the only really good thing coming out of that loss is seeing Evan emerge as the player that he was that game.
In just over 1/2 a play, Gibb totaled 170 passing yards and ran for 84 yards, playing a part in all 3 of Stoughton's touchdowns.
There was a lot to see from Evan Gibb. He went out there in a tough spot and put up a good performance and showed everyone a lot that he's pretty legit, and he can run, he can throw, and he has composure.
You know, he was making plays out of nothing basically. He had some runs down the field. He was hitting kids. He wasn't afraid to lower his shoulder. I think he did a great job last week.
He definitely shocked a lot of people. You know, we definitely weren't expecting much due to the fact he was a sophomore, and that we were facing a pretty big team with a lot of experience. But he definitely came in and definitely proved his self-worth. I look forward to going ahead with him, playing with him again, and see what else he has up his sleeve.
I'm not gonna lie, our morale's up. As much as weird as that may sound, coming off 2 losses, and we know that hanging our heads isn't going to do us any good. We've come back. I think in my 4 years in this program, this has been the best week of practice I've ever had. If we lose another game, we don't know if we're making playoffs because there's a lot of good teams this year in our bracket. So as far as we're concerned, every game might as well be a playoff game. It's do or die from here on out.
Up the middle, huge game to start. Justin Lee may go all the way. Inside the 30, he will not be touched. That is an opening touchdown for Stoughton. 86 yards on the opening play from scrimmage.